Two absent WWE superstars have reappeared, and details of the recent AEW talent meeting have been revealed. But first, we have more on the investigation into the AEW backstage fight. Following this past weekend's real-life altercation after the AEW All Out media scrum, an external investigation was launched to find out exactly what happened and who was to blame. For now, everyone that was in the room has been suspended, with AEW World Champion CM Punk being stripped of his title, as well as AEW Trios Champions Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks receiving the same treatment. Well, with that said, we've now got some more news on the investigation, with Dave Meltzer taking to the Wrestling Observer newsletter to add another name that will be questioned, and he would say, "The company has brought in an independent firm to investigate and do video interviews with everyone in the room, as well as many others, including a number of neutral parties who were in the room or were believed to have seen everything as it happened. The key names that would have included were Max MJF Friedman and AEW and Jacksonville Jaguars Chief Legal Officer Mega Parker." Of course, all known individuals that were in the room have been suspended, including Kenny Omega, Matt and Nick Jackson, Pat Buck, Christopher Daniels, Michael Nakazawa and Brandon Cutler, with CM Punk and Ace Steel's jobs said to be in jeopardy, although it's believed that for now they are suspended. As for MJF, it's unknown where he was during the fight, although it appears that he did see something. The hope from the investigation team is to speak with all neutral parties who witnessed the encounter in order to get to the bottom of what went down, although it's obvious that he wasn't actually part of the scrap, with him remaining unsuspended. Another witness has come forward via the Wrestling Observer newsletter, who claims they were next door to the locker room where the fight occurred, and they were originally under the impression that an angle was being filmed. Once he went to check out what was going on, he quickly realized that it was a real situation. Whilst this wrestler is currently unnamed, they will almost certainly be participating in the investigation. In addition to this, it's worth noting that CM Punk's side have softened their stance on how the Young Bucks entered the room, and whilst it was previously claimed that they kicked down the door to CM Punk's locker room, it's now alleged that the Bucks either kicked, shouldered, or otherwise forced their way in, with "kicked down the door" being a term of phrase. It was also noted that Punk was the one to make legal threats against those bursting into his locker room. For now, what is said to have happened is hearsay at this point, with two sides of the story having completely different accounts of the order of events. Next up, we have an update on the AEW status of CM Punk. Elsewhere on Sunday night, AEW would hold a now seemingly forgotten show, All Out, which was main evented with a match for the AEW World title. The recently returned CM Punk would defeat Jon Moxley to regain the belt, just weeks after returning from a 3-month hiatus due to a foot injury. While lightning would strike twice, as during the match, Punk would once again be injured, with him said to have torn a muscle in his arm, believed to be his tricep. Discussing the matter in the Wrestling Observer newsletter this week, Dave Meltzer would discuss the extent of the damage, revealing that the AEW World title would have been vacated regardless of if Punk went on his media scrum rant or not. And Dave would say, "It ended with Punk, who had torn his tricep 5 minutes into the match and gutted his way through in a great heated match, being stripped of his title. Even if nothing had happened after the show, the injury would have required surgery and 6 to 9 months out of action, so that title stripping was happening regardless of what happened after the match." Punk is said to have torn the muscle during a tope spot around 5 minutes into the match, with him working roughly 15 minutes hurt, likely aggravating it further. This isn't the first time that Punk has worked a match injured, as after he initially injured his foot in June, which was sustained when doing a stage dive, he would work the trios match, teaming with FTR to take on Max Caster and the Gun Club, again likely making it worse. The new injury news does give you the sense that Punk felt like he had nothing to lose going into the media scrum, with him already hurting himself once again. According to the Wrestling Observer newsletter, one person with AEW did note that they were told by Punk 2 weeks ago that the press conference after the pay-per-view would be interesting. If this is true, Punk had been planning on calling out the wrestling media for reports that were written about him during and after his absence, with stories blaming him for Colt Cabana's exit, as well as going into business for himself with the Hangman Page promo, and even threatening to quit AEW. Punk clearly wanted to get his side of the story out there, although as we know, nobody could have predicted the aftermath that occurred. For what it's worth, one source did tell Fightful Select that it's not fair to blame Punk for all of the issues in the locker room as of late, as they reached an all-time high when he was gone, so there's clearly more to the AEW backstage problems than one guy. With him set to be out until April at the earliest, perhaps this time allows both physical and metaphorical wounds to be healed, although it's unclear if he will remain under contract during the healing process or even return to the company at all. Next up, an AEW star has discussed Tony Khan's reshuffling of the AEW roster. As we know and have mentioned 10,000 times this week, there was a backstage fight after All Out which threw a spanner into the works of All Elite Wrestling. It's safe to say that AEW president Tony Khan had a job on his hands at juggling the controversy while trying to rebook the show with the roster available. Speaking on the Extreme Life of Matt Hardy podcast, Matt Hardy spoke on Khan being forced to switch up plans and how he felt the show went, and he would say, "I just thought that Tony Khan did a good job reshuffling the deck and getting a great Dynamite tonight. It's going to be really interesting to see what the rating ends up being. We'll find that out late Thursday as well. I would imagine there was so much buzz on AEW all week, and buzz is buzz, and it makes a lot of people want to tune in to AEW." In the end, the episode would end up drawing 1.035 million viewers, marking the first time since October 2021 that Dynamite has drawn over 1 million viewers 3 weeks in a row. In a vacuum, that's a good feat, although you would have arguably expected a bigger number given the interest in AEW throughout the week. In the end, MJF would return as a heel to the show, Death Triangle would crown new Trios champions, and a tournament would begin to crown the new World Champion, with Bryan Danielson overcoming Hangman Page in the opening round. But what did you think of how Dynamite ended up? Let me know in the comments down below. And next up, a Ring of Honor champion is a free agent. Since the Tony Khan purchase of Ring of Honor, former ROH World Champion Dalton Castle has played a role in the company, going on to win the Ring of Honor 6-man Tag Team Championships along with The Boys at Death Before Dishonor 2022. On top of this, he has made sporadic appearances in All Elite Wrestling. With him becoming a champion in ROH after the takeover took place, it was assumed that he was now under contract. However, this doesn't seem to be the case. According to PW Insider, Castle is 100% a free agent, with him able to work wherever he likes. This isn't to say that he will be leaving Ring of Honor anytime soon, and with there being hopes that the promotion will return to weekly television in the near future, perhaps he will be signed up whenever there is a breakthrough. Dalton's last Ring of Honor appearance came in July at Death Before Dishonor, where as mentioned he won the ROH 6-man titles, and his last AEW appearance came in April, losing to then ROH World Champion Jonathan Gresham at Battle for the Belts 2 in a title match. And next, two absent WWE superstars have reappeared. In the build-up to the May 16th episode of Monday Night Raw, the then WWE Women's Tag Team Champions Sasha Banks and Naomi would walk out on WWE due to creative differences with the higher-ups. Since then, they have been suspended indefinitely, therefore vacating the titles, with them not being seen on WWE television since. Well, this week, the duo would reappear during New York Fashion Week on the runway, with real names Mercedes Varnado and Trinity Fatu showing off an outfit each, receiving praise for their appearance. It's still unclear if they plan on returning to wrestling, with WWE head of creative Triple H recently telling BT Sports' Ariel Helwani that Sasha's return is up to her and that she is capable of doing anything she wants. With her previously venturing into acting, it seems that she may now have a future in fashion alongside Trinity. And finally, details on the recent AEW talent meeting have been revealed. This past Wednesday on Dynamite, all those involved in the weekend's backstage brawl were absent from the tapings held in Buffalo, New York, with it confirmed that CM Punk was in Chicago at the time. According to Fightful Select, it's understood that AEW had scheduled a 4 p.m. Eastern Zoom call with CM Punk and Ace Steel, who were part of the backstage brawl at All Out. It's unclear what this meeting entailed, although it was to likely discuss the future of both men in AEW and perhaps treatment for Punk's injury. This wasn't the only meeting that day, however, as a talent meeting was scheduled to start at 4:15 p.m. Eastern at the venue itself, which is 15 minutes after the Zoom call, where wrestlers, referees, coaches, and announcers were all due to be present, with Bryan Danielson, Chris Jericho, and Jon Moxley there to lead the affair. Regarding the individuals leading the meeting, the response from talent for the three men is said to have been good, with Fightful Select revealing, one young AEW talent has said to us that the resolve Jericho showed at the press scrum after the brawlout situation happened was a great example to be set. Moxley and Danielson also seem to be widely adored by the AEW locker room. Much of Moxley's promo after a recent title run, when he said he was the answer to a lot of the problems, was echoed, especially considering he was supposed to have time off. Danielson's general friendly, funny demeanor was also credited as calming from one AEW talent. Originally, both Moxley and Jericho weren't even scheduled to appear at the show, although they were called in last minute to add some star power following the recent suspensions. The contents of the meeting were revealed in the Wrestling Observer newsletter, with it being noted that it was the best backstage meeting the wrestlers had ever had, and that they realized that there was brand damage done that they had to overcome. Talent was said to have been told to not air dirty laundry publicly, and one person said that when it was over, everything that happened Sunday was forgotten and there was nobody looking backwards, only forwards. Several sources noted how proud they were that after all this bad publicity, they were able to put together such a strong show, and most were excited about the future, but others noted being depressed about how everything had gone down over the past week. With that said, it appears that Moxley, Jericho, Danielson, and MJF will be the key stars that are carrying the company for the foreseeable future. And before you go, make sure you check out 10 wrestlers you forgot wrestled in AEW.